here's a look at the candidates running for City Council this year. Councilmembers Bridget Newton and Shayla are running for mayor. 6 candidates are running for 4 council seats, and they are Beryl L. Feinberg, Donald H. Don Hadley, Tom Moore, Virginia Onli, Julie Polakov Carr, Clara Whitaker.
Hi, I'm Bridget Newton, and I've been honored to be your council member for the past 2 terms. Now I'd like to earn your vote to be your next mayor, because together we can do great things. In coming to this decision, I gave much thought to what I offer Rockville that is different from my opponent. First, I believe my record of public service and leadership is unmatched. I'm currently serving my 3rd term on the Maryland Municipal League's Legislative Committee. I'm president of the Montgomery chapter and vice president for the 5th District. I'm also the liaison to many boards and commissions, and I'm the Rockville rep on Washington's Council of Governments Transportation Planning Board, all giving Rockville a seat at this very important table. Suffice it to say, my weeks are full, and my husband is a saint. I tell you this because the relationships I've built work to Rockville's benefit. By working together, we ensure that what makes Rockville special isn't lost amidst the push to grow for the sake of growth. When Rockville grows, we must grow to be better, not just bigger. Secondly, I see opportunities where others see challenges. The first opportunity is the APFO. Our Adequate Public Facilities Ordinance is designed to ensure that we have adequate infrastructure in place before we add development. At its core is the school capacity test, as well as measures of our ability to handle increased traffic, respond to emergencies, and provide basic water and sewer services. While our APFO cannot solve all of the issues, it does give us an opportunity to moderate the effects of growth. And we are growing. The APFO is not stopping growth. I proposed that we fix those items, which are technical, and render the APFO subject to legal challenges. But I am also for a strong APFO that will keep us from looking like Tyson's Corner. This law wasn't enacted in a month, and it certainly shouldn't be undone in a fortnight. And yes, we need to continue to look for ways to manage our budget and costs, to keep Rockville affordable and allow our seniors the option to age in place. That's why in 2010, I proposed a financial advisory commission to allow 5 of our experienced citizens to advise us on financial matters before the council. Finally, in 2013, and after strong opposition and delay by my opponent, the council gave their unanimous approval, and we enter the future with an advisory board that will pay dividends for Rockville's taxpayers for years to come. And yes, we need more classroom space in Rockville. That's why I asked that the mayor and council make lobbying for school construction funding a legislative priority for 2014. We've got to get elementary school number 5 built. Have you been inside Twinbrook Elementary lately? Amazing staff, wonderfully smart students, and energetic parents, all in a building that was built in 1952 and renovated 30 years ago. Do the math. That building is older than I am. They don't need eyeshadow. They need a complete makeover. And yes to another opportunity, the Rockville Pike Plan. Let's thank our planning commissioners for their tireless efforts. Let's make the Pike our golden mile, and let's work with all stakeholders to ensure that what we end up with is what we want in Rockville. Finally, I'd like you to know that I'm running independently and not on a slate. Good government needs leaders elected independently, working together for the same team. The team you, the people, select, not what others select for you. It means a mayor who isn't locked into a particular direction, will engage all viewpoints, will lead your team with open discussion. Good government needs a person who can shoulder the vision for Rockville's future. I believe that I am that leader, and together we can do great things. Thank you for listening, and to learn more about me, please visit my website at www.bridgetformayor.com.
Hi, my name is Shayla, and I'm running for mayor of Rockville. Just before I announced for mayor, I spoke to a dear friend. She was thrilled to learn that I was running for mayor. She told me, Mark, the city is broken. She further told me, Mark, the city's heart is broken-hearted. This great lady gave me the words that I was searching for. It has been difficult for several years for the city to conduct its business. It has been difficult to engage in a sensible policy discussion, and it often takes years to solve a problem that can be solved in a few months. I am running for mayor to change all of that. I am running for mayor to change how we conduct our business and to address our challenges head-on. This election is about the whole community, you, our residents, but also businesses, nonprofits, education, and government. It's about all residents and all neighborhoods. It's about making decisions based on facts. It's about honoring our city staff. It's about expressing a vision for Rockville and knowing where we want to go. And it's about preserving our quality of life and thriving, even in challenging times. Now Rockville has a huge challenge. The federal sector is going to shrink. This is unprecedented in modern times. Rockville's economy has to diversify, and we need more private investment. Choice Hotels International headquarters coming to Rockville is a great example, but it barely happened. We have a second big challenge. Growth is likely to happen even as the federal sector shrinks. As long as the region does better than the rest of the nation, as long as we have a world-class school system, as long as this area provides jobs not found elsewhere, and as long as people keep having babies, Rockville is going to grow. We need to turn these challenges into opportunities. Cities that succeed in tough times are the ones that see the future and adapt. Here's my plan. First, I will continue to expand our tax base by attracting high-quality companies to Rockville. I will continue to moderate spending and to keep us on a sustainable fiscal path. Second, I will re-examine where Rockville allows growth. We are going to grow. We need to grow. But we should grow in areas where we have or can have frequent mass transit. Third, I will form the collaborations necessary to have our county and state governments fund school and transit construction. We need to work with other municipalities so that we all rise together. Rockville will not get preferential treatment. I am the person who had the courage to tell you that our adequate public facilities ordinance does not work. It does not stop growth, and that it has hurt Rockville twice. We need to fix it so that it does not backfire again. The eventual solution will be to convince county and state governments to provide more money for schools and transit. As council member, I have been very careful with your money, and I understand budgets and the choices they represent. I voted to bring Choice Hotels to Rockville to reduce our parking garage subsidy and increase our tax base. My opponent did not. I voted to build a new police station. My opponent did not. I voted to expand the senior center. My opponent did not. I voted to refinance debt in order to save money. My opponent did not. I wrote the resolution to save $500,000 a year on the Red Gate Golf Course. My opponent worked hard for 2 years to continue that taxpayer subsidy. I am proud to be part of Team Rockville. This team was built around incredible diversity to represent all of Rockville. Importantly, we have policy diversity. We do not always agree, but we do agree to work honorably towards solutions. My website is voteforshayla.org. There, I have posted a full platform, a question and answer tab, and other information. Read it and you will know where I stand. My name is Mark Shayla. Please vote for me to be your next mayor of Rockville.
Hello, my name is Beryl Feinberg. As a Rockville resident since 1994 and county resident since 1978, I want to serve you, the residents. I pledge to preserve the traditions and residential heritage of Rockville while planning for the future. We are at a crossroads in the city. On the one hand, we want to preserve the central character of our city with its charming, family-oriented neighborhoods. On the other hand, we need to ensure that we have reasonably business-friendly environment so that the tax revenues from business can help pay for the cost of city services. I embrace neither a no-growth nor an unbridled growth policy. I believe that we must have a policy of balanced growth and that new projects must be considered thoughtfully and implemented carefully. The unintended fiscal consequences must be identified and analyzed so that our residents are not saddled with unwanted burdens. I pledge to continue high-quality services, trash pickup, snow removal, city police response time, our parks, and the dedication of our city staff all contribute to making Rockville a unique place. The council must ensure that the city has the resources to continue to do a first-rate job in making Rockville the envy of cities and counties throughout the state. I pledge to promote an atmosphere of civility among our elected leaders. Transparency, candor, and respect should be the hallmark of relationships among mayor and council members, staff, and county government. I embrace open communication, fact-based debate, and timely decision-making as core values. I pledge to establish linkages with nonprofits, the faith-based community, neighborhoods, and businesses. A common vision is needed among Rockville's leaders and stakeholders. For example, we know that the population of seniors in Rockville is increasing. Many seniors want to remain in their homes, but find that they are no longer able to complete home repairs and daily chores. There are churches, synagogues, nonprofit organizations, plus services at the city and county levels that will assist eligible seniors. I propose that we increase senior navigators by reallocating resources so that we can create improved linkages between those who need help and those who want to help. My qualifications for election to the City Council are long-standing and broad-based. I have been a community activist for the past 25 years and possess strong fiscal management and public policy experience. I am a former executive manager in the county's Office of Management and Budget and am the current deputy director in the Department of General Services. I am a former appointee to the Rockville Board of Supervisors of Elections, member of the Finance and Budget Task Force, and served on the Rockville Summit. I am the current board chairman of Montgomery Hospice, a graduate of Leadership Montgomery, and a former member of the Collaboration Council for Children, Youth, and Families. It is an honor to be part of Team Rockville. While we do not necessarily share the same views on all issues, we promise to work with one another in a respectful manner. Today, I ask for your vote on November 5th so that I may enhance my service to the residents of Rockville. For further information, go to Beryl Feinberg, www.berylfeinberg.com.
Hello, my name is Don Hadley. I'm an independent candidate for the Rockville City Council. I'm inspired to run by the need for strong leadership in facing and resolving the issues that we're facing in the city today. I'm running on my own merits. My goal is to work collaboratively in the City Council with those who are elected. I think collaboration is particularly needed at this point because we have issues of urbanization and how we're going to develop. I want to be effective in helping our colleagues and all of us to understand the issues, how to resolve them, and where I stand in that process. The thrust of my candidacy is this. The major issues that we have include the land use elements. Again, whether we're going to develop large, develop small, or somewhere in between. We sort of have two camps. I would like to use collaboration and a greater humility and dig deep into the elements of what's needed to resolve that. I don't believe we're really succeeding in determining these policies the way that we're presently going. I think we need to be more inclusive and more effective in communicating with our community. At times we drift toward sort of narrow discussions with a relative handful of participants and with some elements of divisiveness or even hostility. I think we need greater citizen business participation in what we're doing. Only about 6,000 of our 62,000 city residents actually vote. That's pretty small, less than 10% of our population. Rockville's 20-plus diverse neighborhoods, our local businesses, you know, they're the essence of our community. They're a precious commodity. They're why people live here. We need to hear their voices. I have the privilege of serving on the Planning Commission for the city. We conduct proceedings from which projects are approved, buildings are built, new surroundings are created, or not. And applicants who are for projects advocate for the virtues of their urbanizing plans, and the voices from affected neighborhoods and businesses warn of erosion of their environments by displacement, traffic, overcrowded schools, noise, and so forth. But what do the rest of our citizens and the business community think? There certainly needs to be change, and there will be change and growth. We can't maintain the status quo. And yet, big is not always better. We should not lightly sacrifice the quality of our neighborhoods and the local businesses in order to harvest the supposed reward or golden egg of becoming a large regional center for commerce and residences. My view is that we have the opportunity to make consensus-based choices, to proceed by intention and with financial responsibility. I would like to see progress that's balanced with the pace of capital funding, with creation and preservation of neighborhoods and parks, business interests, school capacities, and so forth, as well as our relationship with adjoining jurisdictions. To me, this means our mayor and council have to work closely with the community and get broadly supported land use plans and governing principles in place. They have to educate and reach out, and they have to listen. I seek to engage at a deeper level with all involved. I want the content of my mailings to be meaningful, and I want to listen. I invite you to join my website and Facebook when you can. Love to hear from you. The essence of what I am saying is that I think I'm the only candidate that has this land use and collaborative background. I'm a good listener. I have the benefit of having lived here and practiced law here for 40-plus years, raised a family here. And I bring with the skills in problem-solving, communications, conflict resolution, and lifelong commitment to Rockville and the surrounding area. I will show up every day with a steady focus and purpose in mind. I'll get the job done. I thank you for your attention, and I'll be very grateful for your vote.
Hi, I'm Councilmember Tom Moore. I'm running for re-election to the Rockville City Council. First, thank you for making my 2 years of service on the City Council possible. I've been able to make a real difference and make our great city even better. Here's what I've done to earn your vote for another term. I've led on responsible budgeting. I was instrumental in crafting 2 budgets that kept city services strong and property tax rates steady. I led the way in preserving and protecting our affordable neighborhoods. When the homes of 236 moderate-income families in Fireside Park were threatened by private developers, I championed the effort to direct the city's housing authority to buy the apartments and keep them affordable. This brought absolutely no change to that neighborhood or the surrounding neighborhoods. It simply protected the families that were already there. I stood up for strong public ethics laws. When others sought to reduce how much we elected officials must disclose about our finances, I worked to keep our city and state ethics laws strong. I led the way in protecting your privacy. I put a spotlight on how long the government should keep license plate data on those not suspected of doing anything wrong. I led the mayor and council to set firm limits on how long this data could be kept. I'm delighted to be running this year as part of Team Rockville. Team Rockville is Councilmember Mark Shayla, who's running for mayor, and 3 great newcomers who are running with me for city council: Beryl Feinberg, Virginia Onli, and Julie Polakov. We don't agree on nearly everything, but we bring a sensible common vision and a pledge to work together cordially that will serve Rockville well. I'd like to take some time now to talk about the advisory questions that will be on the ballot this fall. It's easy for them to get lost. My colleagues on the council and I convened a commission last year to study the city's charter and recommend changes. This Charter Review Commission was made up of a wide variety of Rockville leaders. They share a deep commitment and love for this city. I'd like to focus on 2 of their recommendations that need your attention. First, that the mayor and council's terms of office be lengthened from the current 2 years to a 4-year term. There are good arguments on both sides of this issue. It would be nice to have the opportunity to get good at the job before having to run for it again. But I respect the idea that it's also good to be able to throw the bums out and not have to wait forever to do so. What tips the balance for me in favor of 4-year terms is another of the Commission's recommendations, that Rockville's elections be moved from the current schedule of odd years to even years to coincide with presidential elections. If this fall's city election is like the last few, about 17% of Rockville's registered voters will show up. That's low, too low. We've been trying to raise our turnout rate for years without much success. Moving to the presidential year, when no county or state races crowd the ballot, would dramatically increase our voter turnout. 70% of Rockville voters turned out to vote in 2012. These are people who live in our city, who are citizens, who are voters. We should hear their voices when it comes to city elections. We're not doing so now. Some of my good friends around the city are concerned that the change would mean more partisanship in our elections, and that these new voters would not be as high quality as the voters we have now. We do prize our nonpartisan elections, but what keeps our nonpartisan tradition strong is not the timing of our elections, but the commitment of candidates over the decades to resist the pressures of partisanship. I see no reason why that commitment would fade if we changed election schedules. As to worries that our new voters aren't good enough voters, all I can say is that by definition you can't have higher voter turnout without more voters. Holding our elections on a day when a lot of Rockville voters are already showing up to vote strikes me as a great idea. It's time to put our money where our mouth is. Do we want higher voter turnout in this city or not? I do. In closing, I want to give a shout out to my wife Amy and our 6 kids. Alexander at Bell Elementary, Elsa at Barnsley, Ellie and Zoe at Julius West, and Katie and Joey at Richard Montgomery. No one in this race has more of an interest in the condition of our public schools than I do. Again, I'm Councilmember Tom Moore. I would be grateful for the opportunity to continue what I've begun on the Rockville City Council. I ask you for your support and your vote on November 5th. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Virginia Onli. I've lived in Rockville for 20 years and have served on 9 boards and commissions, including Rockville Senior Citizen Commission, Human Rights Commission, and most recently the Rockville Housing Enterprise Board and the 2012 Charter Review Commission. I live at Americana Center and have served on Americana's Homeowners Board of Directors. I am running for Rockville City Council because I believe all Rockville neighborhoods are entitled to equal consideration in the fiscal and operational decisions that affect our city. I want to bridge that gap that exists in communities that feel they may not have equal representation before the council. I will represent you and your neighbors regardless of where you live or where I live. I will bring my worldview and objective decision making to the council on your behalf. As a member of the Rockville Housing Enterprises for the past 5 years, I have championed affordable housing within our city. We need to ensure that our residents, from young families to senior citizens, are able to live in the city they call home. We need to ensure our police force, teachers, bus drivers, and grocery store clerks are not being squeezed out from living in the city they serve by embracing inclusion for those folks that are serving us and contributing to our quality of life. It is important for me to be a uniter in this city. For more than 8 years, I advocated for improved services for our seniors, including leading the Senior Commission as chair through the conception and launch of the computer lab at the Senior Center. I believe we need to honor the generation that came before us with services that allow them to maintain the quality and dignity of life that they've earned. I will continue my commitment to ensuring the best facilities and programs that we can afford for our seniors and making sure they have access to all the city has to offer. The city has invested heavily in town center. Homeowners have invested in condominiums, and small business owners have invested in the future success of this development. We have a responsibility to ensure that those investors realize success in their investments so that the community can continue to thrive. As an example, the issue of parking is a polarizing topic. Many residents refuse to patronize town center because they don't want to pay for parking. We need to compromise and identify opportunities to waiver the parking fees during events that will attract a broader audience to our Rockville Town Center. We cannot afford to be afraid of growth, and I support smart, practical growth in the years to come. Let's not get swallowed up or left behind by development around us. Let's decide together how we can manage our growth. Let me tell you what I bring to the table and about my vision for Rockville. My 35 years at IBM and my leadership experience on the Americana Homeowners Board and on numerous boards and commissions has taught me that there is nothing more important than listening and allowing people to be heard. I know how to lead productive civil meetings, and I understand the value of respect and decorum. I bring a heart to see problems solved and the ability to gain consensus when multiple personalities are involved. I firmly reject backstabbing politics. Our economy is slowly rebounding, and we must commit to making smart choices in our decisions concerning Town Center 2 and the Rockville Pike development. My vision is a Rockville where residents prosper as they work, play, shop, raise families. And it's important that we pledge to work together. I'm pledging today. You can count on me. Let me be your voice on the Rockville City Council. To learn more about me, visit my website, votevirginiaonli.org. Thank you for listening, and please vote for me, Virginia Onli, on November 5th.
Hi, I'm Julie Polakov, and I'm running for Rockville City Council. Like many other families, my husband and I chose to make Rockville our home because it is a great place to live. When we moved to the D.C. area after I finished my master's degree, we were looking for a home in a safe neighborhood near the metro with a big yard. As soon as we looked in East Rockville, we knew it was perfect for us. We moved in, adopted a dog, our black lab Maggie, and started learning about our new community. It didn't take us long to realize what a special place Rockville is. We enjoy the people, places, and activities that make Rockville unique. The close-knit neighborhoods, top-notch schools, parks and green spaces, great public transportation, and excellent restaurants and shops are among the things we value most about Rockville. I'm running for City Council to help ensure that people in Rockville maintain their high quality of life by pursuing a balanced and sustainable approach to new development, environmental protection, and the city's fiscal health. Since moving to Rockville, I've demonstrated my commitment to the city. My experience on city advisory groups provides me with the leadership and expertise to guide Rockville. I hope to continue this commitment as a member of our City Council. I chaired the task force convened by the Planning Commission that reviewed a key city policy regarding new development. Over the course of 10 months, the committee evaluated what works and what doesn't work in the Adequate Public Facilities Ordinance. In spite of plenty of passionate discussion and a healthy amount of disagreement among the committee members, I worked very hard with my colleagues to produce a report that represented the consensus of the entire group. Looking to the future of Rockville, I will continue to advocate for a balanced approach for new development that allows the city to continue to thrive economically. As council member, I will ensure that growth in Rockville is in the best interests of the community and does not negatively impact the character of our neighborhoods or unduly impact the adequacy of services for existing residents. As Vice Chair of the City Services and Budget Working Group, I examined the city's long-term fiscal health. If elected, I will support programs for seniors and families, deal with the backlog of infrastructure projects, and maintain a balanced budget. I will ensure that the city continues to improve program efficiency and effectiveness so that we can maintain high-quality services without increasing the tax burden on residents. On the Environment Commission, I helped Rockville become the second municipality in Maryland to be certified as sustainable. As chair of the Watersheds Committee, I wasn't afraid to get my hands dirty when cleaning up our local streams. I will continue to build Rockville's reputation as an environmental leader by pursuing actions that are good for both the environment and taxpayers' wallets. My professional experience at a nonprofit and on Capitol Hill has prepared me to lead the city and to carefully weigh the long-term consequences of council actions. The decisions we make today affect not just the community we live in, but the community future generations will inherit. Over the past 6 months, I've spoken to residents from across the city and knocked on 4,000 doors. From these conversations, I know that many others share the same aspirations for our community. Together, we can build a better Rockville. Learn more about my campaign at julieforrockville.com. I hope that I can count on your vote on November 5th.
I'm Clara Marcuccio Whitaker, a candidate for City Council. In the next 4 minutes, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm going to tell you why I'm running and what I hope to accomplish. I'm the daughter of an Italian immigrant who came to Rockville in 1942 to work as a stonemason. I am the widow of a Marine who flew 239 combat missions in Vietnam. I'm the mother of 2 daughters, one of which is starting a small business here in Rockville. I'm a lawyer by trade. I've practiced law for almost 3 decades and had more than 1,000 civil cases. Why am I running for City Council? I'm running to give back to Rockville. I'm running to give back to Rockville for that outstanding education I got at Richard Montgomery High School. It opened doors for me. I went to the University of Maryland and then went on to George Washington Law School and to, I believe, a successful legal career. I want to give back to Rockville for that first job as a camp counselor with the Department of Recreation. For 5 summers, I worked at a summer camp, earned a little money, and learned how to get along with people and the work ethic. I want to give back to my neighbors and my neighborhood. They know me by name, and I know them, and it's a vibrant, wonderful place to live. I am troubled right now, and this is the primary reason that I entered the race, and that is because I'm worried that our neighborhood is going to be weakened and that all the neighborhoods are going to be weakened if the Adequate Public Facilities Ordinance is weakened. And the proposals that are currently before the City Council, or even being advocated by City Council members, some of which are candidates for re-election, would permit developers to waive, to not even consider the school overcrowding issue and traffic congestion around the metro. And that is not just around the metro, but within 2,000 feet, which is almost half a mile. So neighborhoods such as Twin Brook and East Rockville and even King Farm will be greatly affected by this change. I don't think this change should go through without the Planning Commission weighing in on it. And that's what I would advocate, to hold off, let the Planning Commission consider the new proposals that are being proposed by 2 of the City Council persons, and then proceed cautiously. I wrote no to borrowing money unless it's to reduce the interest rate. We carry a $5 million debt services fee right now. If we can reduce that, I would say yes. I would vote yes to projects to preserve parklands and trees. I love gardens, I love flowers, and I don't want to see 100-year-old trees cut down with saplings put in their place. I will vote yes to coordinated efforts with other jurisdictions to make a better environment for all of us. Finally, I will vote yes to engage every citizen on issues affecting his or her property and neighborhood. I feel fortunate to have lived in this vibrant community and want to keep it that way. I ask for your vote on November 5th. Thank you.